What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Beat the Bookie show. I'm Kiefer. We got BTB here, coming off a phenomenal week in the PGA Tour. We got the Cognizant Classic coming up this week. What'd you go up 7 units last week?
Yeah, we made a nice 7 units last week. It was a very fun tournament to watch in Mexico. It's a very pretty course, I guess you could say. Flat, but it's very scenic, I feel like. So um, you know the hole's set up well, and it always sets up for some drama. So we had a nice playoff. We got close with Jaeger 20 the outright, but he just couldn't close on the final day. And we saw Brian Campbell get his first win on the PGA Tour, despite finishing literally his stats last week for driving and club speed and distance and stuff was literally last in the field. Somehow he beat the guy who was first in all statistics last week in the playoffs. So exciting tournament. We saw a first-time winner on the PGA Tour. So looking forward to getting back this week with a field this week that's not the strongest, but it's much stronger than last week. So I'm definitely looking forward to a tougher playing course in Palm Beach this week.
Yeah, the field. Let's talk about that for a second. The field is much more difficult than it was last week, but it's still not star-studded like any of these signature events. So it's still how many guys in the top 25 we got? It's a lot. It's more than last week, which was 0.
Yeah, I mean, we got quite a few guys, this week, but I mean, this tournament, it used to be the Honda Classic. Now it's the Cognizant, and they actually, the Cognizant they took some stands out this year. They removed half the bleachers from the 18th hole. They took off the second deck from the 16th hole, I believe, the party hole here, the par 3. So they've toned it down quite a bit here. But yeah, they still got a lot of good names this week. Shane Lowry, Russell Henley, Sung Jae, Sepp Straka, Denny McCarthy, Daniel Berger, Jordan Spieth playing this week. Who I would have never thought, 3 years ago, if you told me Jordan Spieth would have been 45-1 to win the Cognizant, I would have said you were crazy. So, Minwoo Lee, Patrick Rogers. So we got quite a few guys this week in the field. It's definitely a strong field. You don't have the big name power, but you have a lot of guys who live down here in South Florida. So, a lot of guys like Daniel Berger coming off a injury, playing some great golf. Heading into this place where a couple years ago he went into the final round with I believe a 5-stroke lead, and he got the yips, blew the win there. So a guy like him who's looking to get back, to where he was. So it's going to be an interesting week, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think this year they set up for a little more scoring than usual. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Carrying the back-to-back weeks of PGA success into this week. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What do you want to start off? You want to start off with some top 40s, 30s, and move into some matchups and winners?
Yeah, unfortunately, I never give out top 30s because people always complain that they don't have that.
Yeah.
So DraftKings and FanDuel do offer that, but unfortunately, Hard Rock, does not.
Very minimal on Hard Rock for PGA offerings.
They do. I mean, they're getting a little better, but still, they're far behind DraftKings and FanDuel. But if you have a top 30, top 40, why don't you go ahead and give those out?
Yeah, I mean, the top 40 that I've got all eyes on is just Minwoo Lee. It's a little bit juicy at -170, but Minwoo Lee he's been playing some great golf this year already. Last year in the Cognizant, I believe he got 4th place finish in this tournament. So he loves this course, this tournament.
He's playing second place last year.
Even better. But yeah, Minwoo Lee top 40 -170. It's got some juice to it. Great parlay piece. Or if you're feeling frisky, just go ahead and take it with the juice.
Yeah, Minwoo Lee, I mean, he's having a decent season this year. He kind of exploded onto the scene a couple years ago. Then just kind of, regressed a little bit. But yeah, like you said, he's played twice here. He's got 26th and 2nd. So he's having a decent year this year. Two top 17s in 3 events. So he comes in here with a week off as he didn't play in Mexico. So he should be well rested. And yeah, top. Would you say that was a top 40 or top 30?
Top 40. Top 40.
Yeah, I mean, let's listen. He's in the top 15 here in talent, so top 40, shouldn't be too much of a stretch for him. You got top 30 as well.
Top 30. Let me scroll over here. I realize it's only on DraftKings and whatnot. But Patrick Rogers, he did have a little bit of a mishap this past week in the final round, but he's playing good golf and consistent golf. I really like Patrick Rogers plus money, plus 140 for a top 30 here.
Yeah, a mishap to say the least. I mean, this is a guy we had to finish in the top 20 for 2 units at plus 130, and he's sitting in 10th place after 9 holes of the final round. He finishes 25th. He shot, I think he had five bogeys in 7 holes. Kind of got the yips there for a little. He couldn't hit a 7-8 foot putt to save his life. He did birdie the 18th hole there. But yeah, he's played pretty well the last 3 out of the last 4 weeks, 22nd, 3rd, and 25th. So he's playing some solid golf. He's still waiting to get that first PGA win under his belt, but Patrick Rogers, should finish in the top 30 here. Now I guess we'll move on to the top 20s. And I think top 20s at this tournament, I mean, you have a lot of value, especially like at Bet Online. You can pick up a guy like Shane Lowry plus 125 for a top 20. The last 3 years here, Shane Lowry 2nd, 5th, and 4th, right? And that's what this course is, really good for. I mean, guys who play here often, the bigger names, they often have, a lot of success. Like Sepp Straka, first place here in 2022, 5th place in 23. He did miss the cut last year, but Sepp's having a solid year, 7th at Pebble Beach, 15th at the Waste Management, and obviously he's won this year in Hawaii. So, Sepp's been having a solid year. Then you got a guy like Russell Henley. The last three times here he's gotten 2 top 8 finishes. Even to a guy like Keith Mitchell. The last 2 times he's played here, he's got 9th place. So guys who play well here have continued success. So for a top 20, I'm going to take a flyer on Andrew Novak, plus 225 at Bet Online. Novak's, having his best year as a pro by far. This is a guy who was struggling to keep his, PGA Tour card last year. Out of his last 4 events, he's got a 3rd place finish and 2 13th place finishes. He got 9th place here last year, and he's from South Florida. So he knows this course very well. He's playing, very good golf right now. So I like Andrew Novak, plus 225 for a top 20 finish. And I'll probably sprinkle him, plus 450 for a top 10 finish, just because he knows this course well, and he's having a great, great start to his season. Like I said, with 3 top 13s in 4 events. He took last week off in Mexico, so he's well rested. So I like Andrew Novak, top 20 plus 225 at Bet Online.
There's a lot of value here for top 20 picks. I mean, not one guy is. I mean, every single player in the field is plus money for top 20. So, like, if you see a guy, you notice a spot, this is the tournament to take it.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can get the odds-on favorite, Shane Lowry, top 25, right? Plus 125. So, that just tells me that the odds makers, they think this field is very diluted, like it's a very even strength field. It's not really top heavy, but like I said, Shane Lowry as the favorite. I mean, even he's plus 125 for a top 20 finish. So I just think there's a lot of value in top 20s this week. That's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Any other top 20s you got? You want to move on to matchups or winners?
You got a top 20?
Yeah, I do. So listen, with everybody being plus money, this is it's a unique opportunity. It's not a top heavy field. You don't have Scotty in the field messing the odds up. Billy Horschel has played great at this tournament. He's had a couple of top 25s this season. Obviously, the last 2 tournaments he's missed a cut, but he's playing good golf outside of those last 2. I mean, I like Billy Horschel here. I mean, he's sitting at plus 240 for a top 20. Got 9th last year. coming off a top 10 at the ATT Pebble Beach Pro-Am. I mean, I'm liking it.
And he's playing some great golf on the simulator at the TGL League. So
that's why he's on. That's why he's fresh on my brain, dude.
Yeah, Billy Horschel. I mean, he had a resurgence last year. He started out this year playing well. I mean, he has missed 2 cuts his last 2 events, but he took off in Mexico, so he's well rested coming into here, and he's from Florida as well, so he's played this course a ton. What's interesting, you got Austin Eckroat down at plus 240 for a top 20 finish. He did win this event last year, but Austin has had a terrible start to this season. He's missed 3 out of his last 4 events. He's missed a cut. He got 13th in Pebble Beach, but he is not having a good season. So if you think Austin Eckroat is going to turn his season around right here, you can pick him up at plus 250 for a top 20 finish. I mean, personally, I won't be betting on that. We've had a lot of first-time winners here, actually, at the Cognizant. So, well, I guess we'll move to top 10s now. Let me pull up those top 10 odds. For top 10, I'm going to take Sepp Straka plus 320 at BetOnline. You really have to shop around for these odds because he's plus 320 top 10 at BetOnline, and he's plus 225 at MGM. So he's plus 300 at DraftKings, plus 300 at FanDuel, and plus 300 at Bet365. But I'm taking Sepp Straka plus 320 top 10 finish at BetOnline. Sepp, like I said, he's already won this year. He pretty much ranks in the top 10 in multiple categories. Strokes gained on the approach, greens in regulation, which is very important here because there's obviously a ton of water at this course. And he ranks number 1 on the PGA Tour in birdies per round. So Sepp, he's playing some great golf. And his last 2 out of his last 3 years here, 5th place and 1st place. He did miss the cut last year, but last year he was not coming in here as playing as well as he's played this year. And with a win already this year, he got close to back-to-back wins. I think his game's never been stronger, and he's got his confidence now. And I like Sepp Straka, top 10 finish, plus 325 at BetOnline.
I like it. You're just getting so much value in this tournament. Scrolling down through here, looking, Jordan Spieth is not far down the list. How do you think he's going to finish in this Cognizant Classic?
I like how Jordan played the waste management. Obviously that's a course where he does very well, and his history there is very well. He has not played the Cognizant in the last 5 years. He did miss the cut at the Genesis. He got 4th at the waste management. He got 69th in Pebble Beach. But he's coming off, surgery, and I feel like his game is getting a little better. Although the statistics don't really show it. I mean, off the tee, he's 53rd. Strokes, he's 101st. On the approach. He's 86th in putting, which is just unbelievable. This is a guy who was a few years ago, 10 years ago, one of the best putters in the world, right? Birdies per round, 114th. He's 109th in bogeys per round, and he's not playing obviously up to how he's played in the past. But I think maybe that 4th place finish at the waste management maybe gave him some momentum. He did have last week off after missing the cut at the Genesis. So I just Jordan Spieth, for me, I'm gonna probably take him a little sprinkle, a half of a unit to win it. He's plus 4,500 to win. And I just think in a field like this, if Jordan Spieth plays his best golf, he can easily beat the entire field, right? There's no Scotty Scheffler here, right? There's no Justin Thomas here. There's no Hideki Matsuyama, right? These names aren't, if you looked at the results on Monday and you were like, all right, Jordan Spieth, well, he only, he won the tournament, but yeah, he beat, Sepp Straka, right? He beat Daniel Berger. That's not unbelievable, right? So I can see maybe this is a place where Jordan Spieth kickstarts his comeback after his injury. but I'll definitely be playing him like a half unit at 45-1. I just think getting him 45-1 odds, I think that's huge value. So I'm gonna be taking Jordan Spieth to win it at 45-1 for like a half of a unit, and I'll probably also take him to get top 5 at plus 800. I mean, like I said, if you're just going by like accolades and who's the best golfer in their career in this field, it's Jordan Spieth by far.
100%.
Right. So I'm just going to go on like Jordan Spieth. Maybe he gets that old Jordan Spieth back this week, but this field is too crappy for Jordan Spieth to be 45-1. Right. So I think there's some good value there. Whether he's still injured and coming back from injury, that's another question. But I think, look, for his potential, it's easily worth a half unit at 45-1.
I agree.
Especially when we've been seeing long shot winners here, consistently. We've seen 200-1 winners here, 100-1 winners here. So why not Jordan Spieth just keep that running with the 45-1, plus 4,500 winners. So I'm definitely going to sprinkle Jordan to launch his comeback at, plus 4,500 this week at the Cognizant.
Hey, the fans would love to see it. I know that much. That would get everybody excited talking about it.
Yeah, it would. And, if a guy like Jordan Spieth won this, I mean, this would attract maybe bigger names next year, right, to come play in this field because it's he hasn't played this event in over 5 years, so it's nice to see a name like his come. Although obviously he's struggling. I mean, but we all know the talent is there. He just got to get his head around, and I mean the talent is there to be among the best in the world. So hopefully this is a place where Jordan Spieth plays well this week, and then it gets some momentum building towards Augusta, right? Because we know when Jordan's playing at his best, he's easily capable of beating Scotty at the Masters, right? He's one of the few guys that can play Augusta well enough consistently to beat Scotty if he's on his game. So if Jordan wants to play well at the Masters, this is where he's got to get the head start, right? So hopefully, he plays well here this weekend. But he's formerly my favorite golfer, so I'll be rooting for him this weekend, and hopefully he can limit the mental breakdowns and just play some good golf. So
yeah, here's to hoping. No mental breakdowns, all will be good. You got anything else for this week? Any matchups you like?
I mean, Jordan is my long shot winner. I mean, so but if I'm just giving out like a regular winner who I think has a really good shot, it's Daniel Berger plus 2,800. Like I said, Daniel, he's gotten 4th place here. His last 2 4th places, his last 3 events here. He did miss the cut last year, but last year he was injured. I don't think he was healthy when he played last year. He just really played this event because it's close, to his house, right, in Palm Beach. But this is a Palm Beach boy, and this is where he's played his best of his career. And he's finally coming out of his injury funk, and he's gotten 2nd place at the Waste Management and 12th at the Genesis. I think Daniel Berger is back, and I think this is the place where he really wants to avenge that 2020 loss, where he blew a 5-stroke lead in the final round. So I'm looking forward to Daniel Berger. Actually that was 2022 actually, but I'm looking forward to Daniel Berger kind of righting his wrong from here, right, and coming and winning the event here. So I'm going to take Daniel Berger plus 2,800 to win the event.
Hey, I mean, you sold me on Berger there. I mean, 2 top 3 or 2 top 4s in the last couple of times he's played. I mean, yeah, he was injured last year, but this is, off of injury, he's playing great. So, hey, I like that one a lot.
He is, and he's playing great, like, final rounds lately. So he's not melting down towards the end. I mean, he's 14th on strokes gains off the tee, 32nd on the approach, 16th around the green, 22nd in putting. So, he's playing well. I mean, his ball speed is obviously not with the top guys, but he's in the top 20 in limiting bogeys per round. So if he can limit his bogeys here, I think there's plenty of birdie holes for him to take advantage. And I think Daniel can clear this field and take home the victory at plus 2,800 at FanDuel.
Love it. I think we got a pretty good tournament in store for this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it should be a fun one. I mean, it's always I feel like it's always on the PGA, it's always the tournaments that don't have that huge name recognition that always end up being the best tournaments to watch. Like Mexico was a great watch, and we didn't have a guy in the top 50 there, I don't think, right? So
Crazy.
You're not gonna have to worry about Scotty Scheffler running away from the field here, or stuff like that. So I think this tournament, this is for the golf fan, the fan that actually likes golf and doesn't have to worry about the names playing in the tournament. So we do have some decent names here playing this week. So hopefully we can see a guy like, for storylines like Jordan Spieth get a victory. So I'm definitely looking forward to it, and looking forward to getting ready for the Masters, as it's just over like 5 weeks away. So I can't wait for that one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Masters, best time of the year. Everybody's getting geared up for it. It's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to this weekend as well.
Yeah, well, thanks for having the show today, and looking forward to it, and looking forward to getting those college baseball winners from you.
Yeah, man. Going to be a good year. Going to be a great year.
We need to get Ole Miss in some news that has to deal with winning sports. Not fraternity news.
Yeah, it's been a rough 6 months for Ole Miss fraternity life down there. So best of luck to them. This most previous one is crazy if you haven't seen it.
It is.
But another great week. Looking forward to it. Appreciate everybody listening and tuning in. BTB, appreciate you, big dog. We'll be back next week. Should be another.
We'll be next week. We have the Arnold Palmer Invitational, which it's almost like a major. It's a very prestigious tournament. And to get the drivable par 4 over the water, 350 yards.
So sick.
So it'll be interesting to see if anybody takes the chance like Bryson DeChambeau. But I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to this week. So let's cash this week, and then we will worry about the API next week.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. See everybody next week.
See ya.